Hi, I'm Rashmi and today we're going to talk on how to improve our English. English is a vital means of communication both in our professional and social lives, and it's very important that you speak good English. I may not be the right person, but I'm going to share a few of the things that I did in my journey to learn English, and I really struggled with this language. The first thing that anyone has to do is to speak the language. No matter at which level you are, lose all your inhibitions and start speaking, because you can never pick up the language unless you speak. Remember how you picked up your mother tongue. You were never conscious about it. You just heard the language and you just spoke. You didn't even learn the grammar or anything. But unfortunately, our schools teach the other way. When we go to school, they start off with ABC. So I think you should learn it the way you speak your mother tongue. And another thing is, let us not feel very bad that we are not speaking good English, because if you are making a mistake in the local languages, we don't feel bad. So why should we feel bad that we are making a mistake in English? Because unless you start speaking and get right away into the subject, into this, you will never learn. So the most important thing of all the things is to speak in English. And for this you'll have to speak with your friends mostly, because what happens is, many times students think that they have to speak to the teachers to improve the language, but with the teachers, we all know how much do we speak. Most of us are so scared of them, we hardly open our mouth. So it's very important that you speak with your friends, and because with your friends you talk about a whole lot of topics, and so naturally your vocabulary builds and you're used to speaking on a variety of subjects. And it is important that you speak at home, because when you speak at home, you speak about your emotions and your feelings, and so that really helps. And many a times it may happen that you are not used to speaking that at English at home, but I think your parents could be very supportive, because once they understand that you have this in you have this desire to improve, I'm sure they're going to help. They're going to be cooperative. They could speak in the mother tongue, but you could reply back in English. You could you speak to your brothers and sisters, but the whole idea is to communicate. And if not anyone, then speak to yourself. I grew up in these very remote areas, across the country, and the schools were good, but hardly anyone spoke in English. So what I used to do is try to speak to myself, whichever way. I mean, and that also helps, because when you're speaking to yourself, I know it's a little difficult because there's no audience, but then again, there's no inhibition either, because you can make any mistake that you want to. So I think that's very important, speak in English. And the second thing that really helped me was reading aloud. Now I'm not talking about reading the newspaper, because reading the paper is a little dry and dull, and another thing is your speed will not come. So pick up something which is light and easy to read. For me, it was always the English text. When you're in the school 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So pick up your reader, and it was a go-to book whenever I felt a little sad or whatever, because that was, always, it always used to lift me up. So, when you read first, maybe it doesn't come out very well, but by the time you read 5 times, 10 times and 15 times, you will see the change, you will see how beautifully you read. In fact, you almost sound like a news reader, and that really gives you a thrill and a kick. And very important that you read aloud is because you can pay attention to the pronunciation. Otherwise you're more interested in forming the sentence and reading the matter. But once you have time and you know what it is, you pay attention to the smaller details, which is very important in improving the quality of the language. And again, what you have to do is to listen to good quality programs and to people who speak good English. Now there's a variety of programs, on TV, on social media, YouTube, everywhere. So you are exposed to a lot of very good English and a lot of very good role models. During our times, we just had Doordarshan, and I think the English programs were very rare. I mean, there was one Sunday where we used to get National Geographic and another program called Star Trek. So we had to wait for the whole week to listen to quality English, and the news used to come once in a day at the end of the day, and that it was so complicated, and but now I think, when you switch on any channel, it's so beautiful, so they make it very simple and user friendly, and it's a treat to the ears to actually listen to this quality these quality programs. And another thing is to watch movies, because it's easy, because the subtitles are there, so when you read the subtitles you understand. I remember when as a kid watching English movies and actually not understanding a bit of it, but now it's so very easy, and this exposes you to a lot of variety of other words and culture and all that, so this helps to hone your language skills. And another one very good tip is to sing. I think the lyrics are available everywhere. So if you and English music is not the loud rock music. There are also softer melodies. So if you actually listen to English songs with the lyrics, and if you can sing along, I think the pronunciation, all that really improves. And naturally, there's a gradual love for the language. And anywhere, wherever there's a love for the language, the desire to improve also increases. And I think another one thing that you could do is, to read the newspaper and pick up those good words and have a pocket dictionary with you. I think the pocket dictionary should be in your bag or in your purse at all times. Of course, and a book. And nowadays you can use your smartphones to read, but have something handy to read all the time whenever you're waiting or anything. And if you come across any word that is a little difficult or you're not sure about, you can open your dictionary and then start using it. See, using it is extremely important. Unless you use it, unless it's a part of your vocabulary, it's not a part of you. So you have to use it in order to know the language, to build the vocabulary. So pick up a couple of words every day or a week, and start using it so that so that your vocabulary increases. And another tip could be also writing. Now most of the students, you're used to writing only your technical stuff, your question answers, or if you're a professional, you're restricted to that particular field. But I think opening or having a blog of your own would be a great idea. And nowadays everyone is so technologically savvy. You can just open a blog for free, and it could be on gardening, it could be on photography or anything of your interest, and publish an article every week. It's not that you should have viewers and people should be reading. You're doing it for your own satisfaction. Your subject knowledge on the subject increases, and naturally, since you're writing for an audience, your written skills also improve. And so these tips will definitely help you, and I hope you use some of these. And if you're not using any of these, at least the one thing that I want to leave you with is, speak in English, because that's the most important thing that you can actually do. I remember having a maid with us. She didn't know how to read and write, but she spoke good English because she worked with a Sri Lankan family, and they didn't know the local language. And it was such a surprise and such a beautiful thing to see her speak so well and confidently. And I think if they can do it, any one of us can do it. So here's wishing you the very best, and I hope you use some of these tips that I've shared.